Yo, what up, guys? This is Retronic Ice Cat. You're on the Real News Talk channel. You know what the fuck to do. So this video that I wanted to touch on is Willow Nightingale calls her haters for claiming she's not black enough. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Because to me, being black to a lot of people is acting like a gangster, acting like a thug, acting ratchet, acting all ghetto and shit. Is that how all black people are? Is that how all so-called black people are? So, if you see a so-called black person acting like a normal person, dressed up in suit and tie, are you gonna call him an Uncle Ruckus? You're gonna call him a coon, a sandbox? So okay, so how do white people act? How do white people act like? Why, see, this is why I hate using the term black. Because black represents evil. Black represents dark energy. Black represents, black magic, blackballed, blacklisted. Anything associated with the word black is considered negative. I don't even like to use the term black personally. Me personally, I don't even like to use that word, black, because it represents negative vibes. While white means pure, white means clean. The term that I would use personally is melanated, a person of color. I don't consider myself to be so-called black. I am so-called black, but really and truly, I am brown. Because technically, there are different shades of brown, from light brown to dark brown. That's how I see it. That's how I view things. Just like there are different shades of white. You get my drift? But technically, we are designed to call each other such things because we've been taught that our whole lives. So we just go with what we know. But anyway, saying that Willow Nightingale is not black enough, what? Because she doesn't act like a so-called ghetto ratchet woman. Because, is it because she's always a happy-going person? She has a positive attitude, positive energy. Anytime you see a woman like Willow Nightingale, she lights up the place. She makes you happy as well. Don't you like that? Oh, I get it, because you like darkness. You represent darkness. That's the reason why you don't like people like Willow Nightingale. Because you're surrounded by a bunch of negative, evil, demonic, mean-spirited people. So you want people to be like you, living in the dark, representing nothing but evil. I get it now. I get it. Because it's funny that how us so-called black people like to judge each other based on our character and our persona. Because we don't act a certain way. We're not black enough. So who are we trying to act like then? Explain yourself. Elaborate yourself even further. Because you're not making any sense. What? Are you trying to say that that person's acting white? So-called white? This whole black and white bullshit, yeah, is fucking old. It is old. There's no such thing as acting as something. You are who you are as an individual. If you grew up a certain way, that's who you are. You know? Anybody can be a gangster. Any race can act like a gangster or a thug. Any race can act like a hood rat. It's not just so-called black people. So people need to stop with that narrative because it's fucking bullshit. It doesn't make no sense. It doesn't at all. And I know that these things get to Willow Nightingale. It does. And she may question herself. But at the same time, she has a positive energy that keeps her going. In and out of the ring. And I personally have met Willow Nightingale. I've met her personally. And she's a very nice person. You know? She's the type of person that when you see her, you'd automatically want to become friends with her because she just has that energy. She just has that vibe, that aura. You understand? Which is good. It's not against the law to be yourself. You could be any race and be you. And that's what Willow Nightingale's doing. Even though she's biracial, her mum is black, and her father, I believe, is biracial, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, because judging by the photo that I saw of her father, he kind of looks biracial, so maybe so. But regardless, Willow Nightingale is being Willow Nightingale. So, yeah. Let me get into the article anyway. Willow Nightingale isn't here to play identity politics, and she definitely not here for body shaming either. In an interview with Yahoo Sports, the AEW star opened up about the ugly side of social media criticism and how she's learned to rise above it. When it comes to people mocking her appearance, Willow says she's built thick skin. Rightfully so, and that protects her mental health and her peace. But the hate crosses a line when it turns into attacks on all athletes who don't fit the stereotypical mold of a wrestler. You see, this is what I'm saying. When you're a specific race, you have to act like, a hood rat, a gangster. Whether you're black, you have to act like a thug. You have to, be loud, obnoxious, be ruthless, aggressive and shit. If you're Asian, you have to act like a martial artist and that. If you're white, you have to act like Harry Potter and all this fucking bullshit. It's all diabolical at the end of the day. It's all fucking diabolical. But the comments that I do have a problem with are when people attack a whole group of people because of my own shortcomings. When people are like, oh, she botched a move because fat people are lazy and they shouldn't be in a ring. But look at Bam Bam Bigelow, look at Vader. They were pretty big, but they moved like cruiserweights back in the day. But I digress. And so, okay, personally, you're attacking my body. Willow, whatever, that's fine. But there are a bunch of athletes, not just women, athletes in bigger bodies, softer bodies, whatever, who work really hard. And so I feel like every time I'm letting them down. No, you're not letting anybody down. You are you. And you can actually wrestle. I've seen you wrestle. I've seen you wrestle on TV and in person. And you fucking kill it out there. You have so many great matches. Willow also took aim at those who question her blackness, claiming she's not black enough or doesn't speak up for black people. Why does she have to speak up for anything? Not every black person has to speak on such issues. It's not for everybody to speak up. That's why you have certain activists who do those things, that speak up for their own race. Rightfully so. Not everybody has the capability of speaking up about certain issues. You understand? It's not for everybody. Just because they don't speak up about it doesn't mean that they're oblivious to what's going on. Doesn't mean they're not taking heed. But it's just that they don't know how to express themselves about certain things. So it's not always what you think. As a mixed race woman, she's heard it all, and she's done letting others define her identity. Even talking about race lately, I felt a little weird because there's some people who feel like I'm not black enough or I don't speak up for black people enough. Mixed race, black people, or people of color, whatever it is. That is one of the things that really I take to heart. She admitted that at one point the constant criticism almost broke her mentally. You see, if you're not careful, these type of things can really bring you down. And I know we're human beings as well. And when we see mean comments and criticism, it could really break us. But it's up to us how we handle it, and we have to catch ourselves at times because that's what the devil wants. The devil never takes a day off. The devil is working hard at causing as much chaos and destruction as possible. There reached a point in my career where I was almost driving myself crazy because every time somebody would say something bad about me, I felt like I was letting down so many people. You see, you can't please everybody. You cannot please everybody, no matter what you do, good or bad. There's always somebody that's going to say something negative or positive about you. So the only thing you can do is just be you at the end of the day. There's no shame in that. So fuck what people think. As long as you're connecting with the right audience and the right people, that's all that matters. The rest, they don't count. Fuck them. But now, she's made peace with knowing she doesn't have to carry that burden alone. And I had to shake it off and be like, listen, you're just one person representing, but you're not the only one. And you're just one person. Exactly. She's just one person. She can only do her to the best of her ability. Willow Nightingale continues to shine, not just because of her talent, but because of her raw honesty. Her voice matters, and by refusing to shrink herself to fit anyone else's expectations, she's opening doors for others who look like her, wrestle like her, and think like her. Yeah, bingo. That's right. You don't have to look like a model type of figure in order to be a good wrestler, because a lot of these models, these so-called models that were in the wrestling business, they couldn't wrestle for shit. They were just eye candy. You understand? But people that look like Willow Nightingale, they could wrestle their asses off. So, yeah. I like people like Willow Nightingale because they have a high positive energy. They have a high positive energy. And it's hard to break those type of people, because those people will go far in life. Whereas the ones who speak negative about people and hate, they ain't going anywhere. So, yeah, man. This whole body shaming thing in the WWE, AEW, and throughout the wrestling industry is nothing new, because a lot of big female wrestlers go through this. And it doesn't matter about your size. It matters about your athleticism and your skills that you bring to that ring. As long as you can go, as long as you're not lazy, then, hey, doesn't matter. And Willow Nightingale is actually breaking barriers and showing people that you can be who you want to be in order to be successful. It doesn't matter what the haters think. It doesn't matter what the critics think. All that matters is that you can do anything you put your mind to. And she's a prime example of that. And I'm happy for her and her career. And she's come a long way. She's had so many great matches throughout her 10-year career. And she's going to continue to have loads more in the upcoming years. So Willow Nightingale, keep your head up. And keep fighting the good fight of faith. And stay strong and positive. One love to you. So this is the Retro Kid, Retronic Ice Cat on the Real News Talk channel. I got nothing more to say. Stay blessed. Keep it 100. I'm out. Peace.